So we start today's episode for the long-awaited meeting between Mary Peace and Hociane. And Hociane immediately asks Mary Peace to cover up for her. And like Mary Peace was like, girl, I'm not gonna do none of that for you. Hociane really had some nerve. She really thought Mary Peace was gonna help her. And Mary Peace was so disappointed. She was like, you serious? She was like, listen, girl, I'm not gonna lie on your behalf. And Hociane immediately turned on her. She was super pissed. She started insulting her. She was like, I wish I would have stole your money sooner. And Mary Peace was like, there will be justice and you're gonna learn your lesson and be a better person. So then Mary Peace gets home and she's greeted by everybody. And Grandmama Evelina on that nonsense. She was like, so, are you gonna cover up for Hociane? And Mary Peace was like, girl, what are you on? And then Grandma Evelina continued this nonsense. She was like, I covered up for all the other Ramirez's, so I'm gonna cover up for my granddaughter. And Grandma Evelina swagged out of there, all being haterish and stuff. Which I'm okay with because it was only Joanna and Marlene who had her back from day one. So Mary Peace is telling Joanna how she wishes Hociane was like her. And she tells Joanna that family is determined by the heart and who loves you and that she already feels like Joanna is her daughter. And then Joanna gave her a little kiss. It was so cute. And I hope she's really her daughter. Elsewhere, Mano Santa is recovering in the hospital. And Cassia come out of nowhere talking about, I'm not homophobic anymore. I like you now, Mano Santa. Like, you serious? Like, it was kind of rushed and superficial. Like, she just completely changed overnight. And I guess they're just trying to wrap up storylines at this point because we got 2 weeks left. I guess I'm happy, though, that Cassia finally isn't homophobic anymore. Over in the police station, Teo freaking goes and visits Hociane like a dummy. Teo literally can't even look at her. He's so distraught. And Hociane really had the nerve to be like, can you please lie and not press any charges on me? And Teo was like, girl, you serious? Like, you legit serious right now? You literally stabbed me, almost killed me. Like, you serious? And she's like, listen, I'm screwed if you testify against me, so do not do that. And Teo finally manned up and was like, listen, I will walk to that courtroom and freaking testify against you and put you in jail. And Hociane was livid. She was enraged. She was angry. But I'm glad that Teo finally stood up to her. Really quickly, our girl Beatrice was getting that divorce deal. Yes, Beatrice, collect that bag. Elsewhere, Agno decides to meet with William the hacker, who now goes by Bernardo, I don't know. And Agno, being the messy bitch that he is, decides to ask Bernardo, or William, whatever his name is, for help to scam Fabiana. And Bernardo's always up for Villano activity, so he was totally here for this plan. Agno is so freaking catty, like, I can't stand him. Anyways, Agno comes up with this super convoluted plan to get Bernardo into Fabiana's office. So first he offers Jose Elio a job so that Fabiana can think that he stole one of her employees. Then Jose Elio goes to Fabiana. He's like, I quit, and she's shook. And Jose Elio tells Fabiana how much of a hell it is in the factory. And Fabiana gets super angry, gets triggered, and goes and visits Agno. And she demands to know why he stole one of her workers. Agno puts William up his bait and introduces them. And then Fabiana, thinking she's slick, decides to try to steal him. She kind of takes him out on a date and hires him at her factory. But why is everyone simping over William/Bernardo, whatever, the hacker? Like, y'all doing too much with this man. I'm gonna start simping too now. Back at the police station, they're finally deciding what to do with Hociane, and they're like, all right, Hociane, how do you declare yourself? And Hociane had the nerve to be like, not guilty. And Jordana was like, this you, girl? Because we legit have evidence of your crime. And Hociane is like, nope, wasn't me. I don't know anything. And she starts putting on this show. And Amadeo was like, girl, you serious? You really pulling this nonsense? And Amadeo was like, I can't do this anymore. I quit as Hociane's lawyer. He legit did this SpongeBob meme. He literally said, I'm gonna head out. Literally, he was like, I'm gonna head out. So Amadeo and Hociane talk in private. And she's like, you're legit gonna just ditch me? And freaking Amadeo was like, yes, I'm not gonna lie on your behalf, but let's keep it real though. Amadeo doesn't love his kids, so he wasn't about to put any effort into defending her. So Amadeo quickly gets Hociane a new lawyer. And Camilo been misgossiped lately because he ran with the team. But Jordana caught her talking to the reporter. And he gets all flustered and defensive. Jordana, please investigate Camilo. Elsewhere, Mary Peace is just looking at her new bakery. And then Regis shows up, oh my god. And then they have this cute little hug. And y'all wonder why I stand them. Like, they're just a superior couple. Anyways, Mary Peace tells Regis how she won best cake and how she's gonna help him out. And I'm actually happy for both of them. But then Mary Peace starts telling him about what's going on with Hociane. And she starts to get emotional. And oddly enough, Regis is one of the only people that can understand her. And they have this super cute moment where they just hug it out. Like, they are seriously the superior couple in this show. Elsewhere, Hociane's lawyer pays Fabiana a visit, and he's like, so I heard that you scammed my client. And Fabiana's like, me? Scam? No way. And he's like, listen, we got the proof. Like, you caught out. And Fabiana's like, crap, I'm screwed. All right, I better play along. And the dude asked her for a deal. He was like, do not testify against Hociane. We all know Fabiana's fake ass will do anything to save her own skin. And she was like, sure, I won't testify against Hociane. She's my cousin, so I want to help her now. She's so fake. Over at the influencer studio, the vibes were just off. Teo and Kim were taking pictures of VIVI, and her grandma was there for some reason. But VIVI was in such a weird mood, and even weirder that so was Bert. Kim was like, girl, the vibes are off today. Like, why don't you take a break? Because nobody's gonna follow you that way. And VIVI just lashes out at them. She was like, no, we're gonna continue taking photos. I'll do what I want. I'm VIVI Guedes. Like, she was just mean. Even VIVI's grandma was like, girl, what's your problem? Like, Kim was like, the vibes are off and all photos are off today. And VIVI was like, don't tell me what to do. We're gonna continue taking photos. Like, she just lashed out at that. She kept going. Like, there's something wrong with VIVI right now. And Kim and Camilo were like, forget it. We're just gonna walk away. And VIVI was extra pissed. I don't like VIVI, but this is the first time that she acted like this, which is so strange. And it's so weird that Bertha was such a hater during this scene too. So for our last scene, Camilo's interrogating them about what they did in that day as always. And Camilo's talking about some, listen honey, I got something to show you. And he legit showed her some random cabin in the woods, talking about that's gonna be our new home. VIVI, you about to get kidnapped, girl. You better start making moves soon. So we start today's episode with VIVI realizing that Camilo's about to kidnap her ass. I'll give VIVI this. She might be annoying, but she's not stupid. She's like, Bertha, what are we gonna do? And Bertha's really like, no, Camilo won't kidnap us or you. Then Bertha gives VIVI her phone in order for her to get in contact with her dad. And she's like, yo, we have to hurry up because Camilo's legit gonna put me in the woods. Poor VIVI, she's just freaking out. She's smart enough to know there's trouble ahead. Elsewhere, Fabiana is simping for William the hacker. William's just there telling her nice stuff and all, and she's falling for it. Girl is liking the attention. She doesn't even know he's gonna scam her. But once again, why are all of you simping for William the hacker? Like, y'all doing too much. So once Fabiana leaves, William sneaks into her office and he starts hacking away. He got to steal all her money. The next day, we finally reach the trials. If y'all haven't seen a novella trial before, I gotta warn y'all. Novella trials are messy. They're a mess. Hociane really thinks she has a chance to get out free. Like, she's really that confident. But before we even start talking about the trial, can we talk about these fabulous robes that the attorneys have to wear while they're in court? Like, this is legit a mood. Now, what I really want to know is why is most of the cast in this freaking trial? Like, look, there's Abel, Brittany, Rocky's mom, freaking Jose Elio. Like, why y'all even there? Tonio's there. Like, oh, like even Johanna's there. Like, what is this mess? Anyway, so first witness to be called is Camilo. And Chicle and VIVI know this damn well, so they waste no time to meet up. But Chicle isn't dumb. He's like, listen, you have to do something. Like, we in danger. And VIVI continues on her nonsense, talking about some, just trust me. Like, no, VIVI. Like, no, none of this nonsense. So Chicle gives her his own phone to use as a burner phone. And Chicle's like, listen, my intuition is telling me that you're gonna get kidnapped, so that phone has tracking capabilities so that I can find you in case you go missing. Back in court, Camilo is testifying against Hociane. He's talking about how she's the killer. And can we just go back to these robes? Like, I am not over these robes. Anyways, the prosecutor is fully satisfied with Camilo's testimony, and he's like, she's the killer. To which triggers Hociane, and she's like, no, I'm not the killer, and she freaks out. And freaking Amadeo and Marlene are like, no, she's not getting out of this one. But bro, can we talk about how Fabiana's whole staff is there? Literally, what is this mess? To the point where even Marcio was like, oh shoot, Fabiana's gonna come testify soon. Let's get out of here, guys, before she catches us here. And then their asses got out and left. They legit were skipping work to be at this trial. What is this mess? The next one to testify is Jordana. Jordana immediately brings up the plot photo, and the prosecutor is like, girl, this you? And Hociane was extra pissed, but she was like, no, I am innocent. Like, Hociane, there's literally a picture of you committing a crime. Marcio gets back into Fabiana's office and finds a shocking surprise. William the hacker is hacking away, and he's like, I legit wasn't doing anything wrong, I swear. Back at the trial, it's Ellen's turn to testify, and she's talking about Hociane's character. She low-key drags Hociane for being a cheating hoe and stealing her mother's man. But she said that she wishes for Mary P's sake that Hociane isn't the killer. But riddle me this, why is Tonio and Joanna there? Who's manning Mary P's bakery? Ooh, next up to snitch was Regis, and he was ready. Now Regis said the whole thing. He snitched so bad. He told him the entire plan about how him and Hociane planned to steal Mary P's money. And then Regis was like, but the joke was on me because I ended up falling in love with Mary P. And Amadeo and Hociane looked extra salty when he said that. Then the prosecutor in his fabulous robes asked Regis, do you think that Hociane is capable of killing? And Regis looks at Hociane dead in the eye and is like, yes, she is more than capable of killing. I've become a worse person because of her. And Hociane's psycho ass immediately gut reaction is like, I love you. Next up in this mess of a trial is Fabiana lying ass. She really talking about some, I love my cousin so much. I was so happy when I realized that me and Hociane were family. And Amadeo's like, you lying hoe, tell the truth, you were scamming her. And Fabiana's always acted extra offended. She was like, how could you say that about me? But the prosecutor wasn't having her BS either, because he was like, this you girl, you legit took this picture and you magically got money off her. So put two and two together. And she was like, you're accusing me of things that are not true. You're accusing me of lying. And the prosecutor wasn't having her nonsense. He was like, girl, you extra lying. And Fabiana legit was like, God forgive you. Like, I cannot win. She brings all this stunt. Over at the middle school, Merlin is actually not fighting with Sylvia or threatening to punch her. He's like, I'm a changed person now because I passed the English class. Merlin actually likes Sylvia now that she helped him pass English, and now he's buddies with Cassia again. Cassia's talking about how she loves Mano Santa now, and Merlin's like, yeah, you're now the LGBTQ freaking ally queen, like, and she's like, I should do something nice for them. Anyways, back at the trial, Grandmama Evelina lying as his neck. And now I am here for this prosecutor because he calls out all these liars. Talking about, girl, you keep saying that Hociane was with you the whole time, but the records, the receipts say otherwise. We know you lying. And she's like, no, I swear my granddaughter was with me the entire time. And Don Ontario is like, holy crap, this bitch is legit lying in trial. And Marlene was like, that's the girl you're gonna marry, boo? Like, that's really your girl? That's your ride or die? The prosecutor in his fabulous robe tells the jury that Evelina cannot be trusted because A, that's her grandmother, and because B, she keeps lying. Like, Evelina needs some jail time. She's been doing too much nonsense and she needs to serve some time. The next person to testify is the simp icon himself, Teo. The prosecutor's like, alright, do you think that Hociane killed them people? And instead, Teo gives us all a recap of his really weird love story of how Hociane played him and how he was still simping for her. And Jordana looks mighty uncomfortable hearing all this. And actually, so does Hociane. She's like, why is he so obsessed with me? And Teo looks Hociane dead in the eyes and was like, she tried to attack me and kill me. And Hociane looking like if she had the chance, she would definitely do it again. Looking extra guilty. So Teo's legit all worked up now, like he's crying. He is a mess. And Hociane's defense accuses him of lying about Hociane. And Teo's like, no, I would never lie. And then out of nowhere, he's like, I love Hociane. And Hociane looking like, girl, I don't care. But Jordana looking extra pissed. She's like, are you freaking serious? So she immediately calls his ass out outside the trial and breaks up with him. Teo's really like, sorry, I can't help but simp over Hociane. And Jordana's like, what's your problem? She legit tried to kill you. And he's like, I just have to get over her. I just need some time. And listen, Queen Jordana is a woman who knows her worth because she was like, you can find that on your own time. You ain't gonna use me as rebound. So she broke up with his ass and left, as she should. Back in the courtroom, Hociane's defense attorney is mighty confident, and so is Hociane. She looking extra smug, thinking she's gonna get out of this one. But she wasn't counting on Mary Peace walking in and testifying against her. And Hociane wiped that smirk so fast, she about to be in for a rude awakening. Oh my god, so I'm just gonna spoil it for y'all. Justice is served this episode. So we start with Mary Peace giving a very emotional testimony of what Hociane did to her. And Hociane was smug last episode, but she extra shook with Mary Peace's testimony. So poor Mary Peace is telling the judge about Hociane and Regis's plan. And she has an Instagram filter flashback to the day when she caught Regis and Hociane. And she tells the judge how Hociane kicked Mary Peace out of her own mansion. And we flash back to Hociane being all smug and evil, which is a really good contrast with her current situation because she knows she is done for. Poor Mary Peace though, she was so affected by all the horrible things that Hociane did to her. Poor Mary Peace was filled with so much shame about the horrible things that Hociane did. She said that she felt like she failed as a parent. She literally had to look back to Amadeo. And of course, Amadeo don't care about his children, so he was like, go on girl, expose the bitch. Mary Peace talks to the judge, and she's like, all I ever wanted was my daughter's approval, yet she insults me, she berates me, she calls me names. And like, Mary Peace's testimony was heartbreaking. That was my same reaction too. And Mary Peace turned to Hociane and was like, what the hell is your problem? And Hociane lashed out at her own mother in the middle of the courtroom. Not a good look, girl. And Mary Peace goes, yes, she is definitely a killer and she needs to pay for her crimes. And poor Mary Peace, filled with guilt, adds that she's the one who should be taken to jail because she's the one who made a mistake raising Hociane. And honestly, Mary Peace isn't wrong because she did spoil the crap out of Hociane. She did let her get away with a lot of crap. So, I mean, as much as I love Mary Peace, she's 1000% right. She had a lot to do with Hociane's mis-upbringing. Even the judge felt bad for Mary Peace. Mary Peace was so worked up at this point that she literally got up and she started shaking Hociane. She was like, what is wrong with you? Why are you so evil? Why can't you love me? Like, it was a mess. And we cut to Marlene basically feeling the way that we're all feeling. But can we talk about the difference in reaction of these two ladies to this event? Evelina didn't seem to care. Meanwhile, Marlene was there crying with Mary Peace. Hociane is the last person to testify. And she really gonna be like, I'm innocent. Like, no, you're not, girl. So now that all pieces are in place, the trial finally comes to a close and it's time to serve some justice. So everybody comes back in the room and I was a little pissed that they cut out Kim's testimony because they revealed her real name. Apparently Kim's real name is Cleonice. Anyway, the judge is like, alright, it's time to settle this. The bitch is guilty. Lock her ass up. And Hociane was so caught off guard that she literally did the Mr. Crab meme. She was like, wait, what? I'm guilty? Poor Mary Peace felt so ashamed. Amadeo looked annoyed because we know Amadeo don't love his kids. So Hociane has a meltdown in the middle of the courtroom. She starts yelling at her attorney and just starts making a scene. She just freaks out and I'm having so much life seeing justice get served. And poor Mary Peace tries to reach for her daughter. But I'm loving Hociane suffering. Like, I'm high-key here for it. But I'm sad that Mary Peace is sad, which sucks. So everybody gets back to Marlene's apartment, and they look like they legit just went to a funeral. But tell me why Grandmama Evelina was on some nonsense, talking about this is the first Ramirez that goes to jail. And Marlene dragged her ass. She was like, "Bish, you really serious? You really talking about this nonsense right now?" Even Amadeo was like, "Evelina, can you shut up?" And Mary Peace really was like, "Listen, this is not the time for this nonsense, right? I'm not in the mood." Even Don Antero was like, "Girl, this is not it. Like, you need to chill." And as if things aren't tense enough in this room already, Regis pops in, talking about I heard what happened. Mary Peace, let me give you a hug. And clown-ass Amadeo really talking about, "What are you doing here? You're making things worse." Like, he was extra jealous. And then he was like, "We gotta go outside and have a man-to-man talk." Like, what is this mess? So Amadeo really talking about some Regis. "You cannot go after Mary Peace. I'm the only one who can go after Mary Peace. You can't be a changed man." And Regis clapped back. He was like, "Yes, I am a changed man, and I'm gonna try to win Mary Peace's love back." And y'all know I'm rooting for Regis because Amadeo's extra trifling. Over at Lyris's house, the whole family together having this weird dinner. Now that Cassia isn't homophobic and it says Mano Santa. But can we talk about this ghetto layout? They got really used to the hood by now. Old Lady Gladys was legit having dinner on a pillow. Like, I am here for this mess. So Lyris is talking about how her and Mano Santa just seem to get along. Like, they vibe on everything. Like, for real, her and Mano Santa are BFFs. Even Old Lady Gladys likes Mano Santa. So then Cassia popped out of nowhere talking about she wanted to do a special dessert just for them. And then this girl literally went from being a homophobe to being the LGBTQ ally queen. Because she really talking about when y'all getting married. Both Agno and freaking Mano Santa were like, "And Ayup? Like, what, girl, wait, what?" So then Mano Santa and Agno gets back home. And Mano Santa's like, "How nice of Cassia to make the dinner and to make that little dessert for us. It was really good." But this is why I can't stand Agno, because he was like, "No, it wasn't. It wasn't that great." Like, that's your own daughter, jerk. Anyways, I guess Mano Santa has poor self-esteem because he was like, "I know you don't really like me, and I know that you're probably gonna break up with me." And Agno was like, "No, actually, I'm gonna propose to you." And Mano Santa was so surprised, but he was happy. Collect the bag, Mano Santa. It was a weirdly romantic night tonight because Mary Peace was just like kind of chilling, like she's trying to make sense of everything that happened. And Amadeo pop in. And Mary Peace really talking about I need to forget about tonight. Sex me up, Amadeo, girl. And Amadeo was like, "Bet, let's do this." And bruh, ooh, y'all is nasty. Like, my eyes, y'all doing too much. Meanwhile, Hociane is rotting in jail. So they move Hociane from the police station over to the actual women's prison. And Hociane gets her welcome. I'm loving her doing the walk of shame. And Hociane looks amazing. She looks stunning behind the prison bars. Y'all. And then we meet the diva of the prison, the jail icon, the justice influencer, Miss Captain. This lady popped out, and I stand her immediately because she gave Hociane the treatment she deserved. She was like, "Girl, who are you?" And Hociane tried to give her some attitude. And Miss Captain slapped the crap out of her. She said, "Girl, you gotta learn today. This ain't your house." She was like, "Listen, I'm Mary Peace, and I ain't Teo's dumbass either. You're gonna answer to me. You're gonna do whatever I say." And then she was like, "All right, are you one of the famous ones?" As in, like, a famous criminal. And this gives us an idea of how long Miss Captain has been in this prison, because some person had to legit explain to her what an influencer is. She legit has been in this prison so long that she doesn't know that there's internet outside. Like, she is a jail icon. And then she proceeded to whoop Hociane's ass. We take a break from the ass whooping to go back to Mary Peace and Amadeo. And Amadeo really like, "We should really start our relationship again." And Mary Peace didn't say yes. She used up Hociane as an excuse. She was like, "I don't know, I still feel bad about what happened." And Amadeo really was like, "All right, take your time." But let's face it, Mary Peace doesn't know who to choose. Choose Regis. And for our last scene, Miss Captain is giving Hociane her jail welcome. And one of the inmates offers Hociane her bed, to which Hociane rudely rejects. And Miss Captain wasn't having none of that crap. She was like, "You better learn some manners because this is my prison." And Hociane had one of her little freaks down, and she really thought she was gonna do the same nonsense she did outside. But Miss Captain was here to match her psycho energy, because Miss Captain proceeded to whoop that ass the way that she deserved. She beat her ass thoroughly. Like, I was living for this. I am here for this suffering. And then she got down to Hociane, and she was like, "You do whatever I tell you from now on." And she was like, "Your name's gonna be Escoria," which means vermin. And I am living for Hociane getting some justice and for being treated the way that she deserves to be treated, because that's the energy she gave everybody else. Her little spoiled ass really thought she was about this life. She thought wrong. I'm just gonna warn you all, today's episode is sponsored by disappointment, because everything that could have gone wrong in this episode went wrong. With that being said, we start with Joanna telling Rocky about what her grandmother has been saying this whole time. Joanna was kind of scared to say it, but then she just came out with it. She was like, "Listen, my grandma thinks that me and Hociane were switched at birth, which means that Joanna is Mary Peace's daughter." And Joanna is like, and your parents know the truth. They can tell you. So Rocky's like, crap, I have to investigate. So over at the mansion, they're all reunited and Rocky's asking them for answers. Rocky's like, all right, y'all better come clean. Did they switch the babies? Also, why is old lady Gladys there? And Rocky's parents fess up. They're like, yes, that old lady kept saying that the babies are switched. And she was like, but we just didn't want to torment Mary Peace. And I don't know why, but Grandma Cornelia was laughing at this whole mess. And old lady Gladys was getting all the tea. Over at the bakery, Regis goes and pays Mary Peace a visit. And Regis is also hesitant, but he asks Mary Peace for the money that she promised him. And Mary Peace is like, of course I will help you. She was like, you were the one who helped me put this bakery up, so of course I'm gonna give you that money. What's great about Regis' development is you can tell that he's very humbled by the whole experience. But we get to him at the winery, and the casino dude is there. He's like, Regis, you got a whole bunch of money? You should go gamble it away. And Regis is like, no, I'm a changed man. And the guy's like, don't be stupid, be strategic, gamble a portion of it away. And Regis is like, fine. And we're like, Regis, don't do this to yourself, bro. Think of your development. Over at jail, Hociane is living her torment. Miss Captain calls her by her name Escoria and demands that she clean. And Hociane really tried to put an attitude. She was like, don't call me that. And Miss Captain quickly got in her face. She was like, girl, what you say? Hociane was not trying to catch that ass whooping, so she minded her attitude, and she was like, I just don't know how to do anything. And Miss Captain dropped the bucket in front of her, and that nasty ass water splashed her, and she was like, bitch, you better get to cleaning. And Hociane tried it for a moment. She's like, no, I will not clean. And then these seasoned jail bitches got in her face. And Hociane knew they were about that life. So she said, never mind. And her ass got to cleaning. I am here for this mess. I love Hociane's suffering. Over in the studio, I see that Sylvia still got her photos going on. And then Vivi show up. She's talking about some sorry I was late. I was getting into a fight with Camilo. But Berta intercedes and she's like, don't tell people your business. That's just going to bring you bad news. The vibes have been off with Berta lately. And Kim noticed right away. So she goes talk to Vivi in private and she's like, listen girl, like, we got to do something about this. She's like, listen, you changed so much. You're clearly being harassed by Camilo. Like, you need to end this. And Vivi's like, no, I can control Camilo. And then Berta pop in talking about some, hey, you're taking too long, Vivi, which means we're going to be delayed and Camilo's going to get pissed off. And the fear got into Vivi. And Kim was like, girl, you see, Camilo's controlling you through Berta. Which is like, damn it, no. As if we weren't disappointed enough, Regis is back to gambling. And the dude's like, Regis, gamble it all away. And stupid ass Regis listened to him. He legit gambled the entire money that Mary Peace gave him. We were like, don't do it, Regis. Don't do it. And then he loses it all. It's like, Regis, we were rooting for you. How dare you? We legit were rooting for this man. Even the shady casino dude felt bad for him, even though it was all his fault. Like, Regis' development went like this, and then it finally dove down. Like, God. Anyways, he goes and talks to Lyris, and Lyris is like, damn, you look like crap. What's wrong? Regis is like, I'm a failure. I squandered away all of Mary Peace's money. Thankfully, Lyris was encouraging. She was like, listen, I love you the way you are. Yes, you're full of defects, but you need to man up to this situation. And Regis was like, yeah, you're right. Like, I need to own up to this problem that I have. So he said, I'm going to go to Mary Peace and tell her exactly what happened to hold himself accountable. Which, you know what? I can respect. Even though I'm sad that his development went like this, but I can respect the man holding himself accountable. Over at the bakery, Joanna and Rocky finally go to talk to Mary Peace. And Joanna tells Mary Peace that she could potentially be her daughter because her grandma thinks that the babies were switched at birth. And Mary Peace at first is like, I wish that was the truth. I've always wanted you to be my daughter. But she tells Rocky that Hociane isn't her destiny, unfortunately. And Rocky's like, it doesn't hurt to double check. And Mary Peace was like, yeah, you're right. Let's do it. Let's check and see. So Mary Peace and Joanna get their tests and we're left waiting to see what the results are. Over at the bakery, they just chilling as always. Abel talking about some, we ain't working today. Today's Jose Elio's wedding, we all going. And Fabiana is like, nobody invited me. And then her ass invites herself to the wedding. Brittany's like, girl, they didn't even invite you. You're just gonna show up like that without a gift or anything? So her greedy ass goes and calls William the hacker. And she's like, can you make a fake donation receipt to an orphanage? Even William the hacker gave her a side eye. She really was like, it'll be our little secret. So she wanted to make a fake donation in the name of the couple as a wedding gift. I'd like to think that this is Fabiana's karma for being a greedy liar because immediately after this, while she's gone, he breaks right in. And I think he finally hacked her bank accounts this time. So Fabiana's broke. So we get to Jose Elio's and Beatrice's wedding and the whole family there, including Ellen. And why does musty-ass Fabiana show up talking about, I have this gift for y'all, this donation? But joke was on her because Beatrice is like, you know what? I've been thinking about getting into charity more often. I think I'm gonna go visit this orphanage. Vivi and Camilo and Berta show up, and Camilo's instantly being a hater, talking about this is stupid. And Octavio really at his own wife's wedding, being extra salty. Vivi talking about, there's more important things that she was like, I'm gonna run away with Chicle. I decided, I had it here with Camilo. But then we cut to this shot of Berta. Like, it pains me, the disappointment. But I think that Berta's gonna flip on us, which sucks. On better news, So the gym people show up to say hi to them. So Beatrice was reminded about the info of some supplements that this lady offered her, and what's important is that she put them in the green folder along with Mary Peace's plot document. Beatrice was like, I'll check them out after the wedding, which means we're gonna finally find the green folder with the plot documents. Jose Elio says a little lie to figure out if Abel really loves Brittany for her money or if he loves Brittany for herself, because Brittany has been doubting him lately. So we get to the wedding ceremony, finally they're getting married, and I'm loving all the shots of all the happy families and this really weird family portrait of these, what is this mess? And Joanna and Rocky and Brittany are just so cute. And I'm loving this trio of Agno, Mano Santa, and Lyris. So Beatrice finally says, I do, and then they finally get married. So we finally get to the wedding reception, and Teo, for being stabbed, sure is dancing his ass off. Adriano, the gym manager, started dancing with Grandma Linda. What is this mess? But I'm here for it. And then Kim was being messy dancing with both Marcio and Pasión. I swear, they're gonna end up a throuple. Rocky and Joanna are seriously the only couple in the show. Rocky's like, this wedding got me thinking. And he proposes to Joanna. And Joanna's shook, but she's like, yes. And I love them because they both make Mary Peace so happy. This next scene is hands down one of the best scenes in this entire show. And it's one of the scenes that really shows why I love novellas. So Regis goes and talks to Mary Peace to own up to what he did. And he's like, all right, Mary Peace, I got some bad news. And Mary Peace's like, damn, you look like crap. What's wrong? Like, what happened? And Regis owned up to what he did. He was like, I went and gambled all the money that you gave me. I lost all of it. And Mary Peace was like, damn, that's tough. Like, I can't give you any more money. And Regis was like, no, I don't want any more money from you. I just want to hold myself accountable. He was like, and be honest with you. He was like, I've always thought of becoming a better person and winning your love, but I can't do that. And Regis broke down saying he was a failure. Regis is a complicated character because Regis legit wants to become a better person, but it's taken him really long beyond the scope of this novella. And also, Regis had the chance to turn to a better person, and he kind of messed up on it. But still, he's not a bad person. And Mary Peace saw him and reassured him that even though he messed up, he was still worth something. Which is amazing because it really shows how kind Mary Peace is and how much love she has for other people. Regis reassured, and he was like, you know what, you're right. And he was like, I'm going to do whatever I can to keep my business afloat. I'm not going to give up. Like, he really infused himself with some of that Mary Peace energy. And Mary Peace was happy with him. She was like, yep, I started from scratch and you can do it too. And he was like, listen, Mary Peace, I won't pursue you anymore. I'm not the right man for you. He was like, I'm going to leave your life because you deserve better. And y'all know what? This is why I stand Regis and respect him 1000%. Because Regis owned up to the fact that he was trash. And he removed himself from the race because he knew that Mary Peace deserved somebody better than him. And we know damn well that's not Amadeo because Amadeo's trash too. But Amadeo is on that protagonist mode thinking he deserves Mary Peace. But he doesn't either. That's why I respect the crap out of Regis for this. And Mary Peace once again reassured him. She was like, listen, you don't have to go. I love you for who you are and I forgive you for all the horrible things that you did to me. And this really exemplified like the extent of Mary Peace's kindness, Mary Peace's willingness to forgive, and the goodness that she sees in other people. And she gave Regis a hug, and it was such a cathartic moment. And it's like as if all of Regis's worries were being melted away by Mary Peace's love. Mary Peace told him that he was always welcome in her life. This was such an amazing scene because we finally were able to close on this storyline between Mary Peace and Regis. Like Mary Peace forgave him, accepted Regis who he is, and didn't close down the door for him, essentially giving Regis another chance, but for himself this time. So though it was disappointing that Regis didn't become a better person right away, at least we had another chance. So now we go over to the test results. Amadeo's like, all right, I got them, I'm gonna open them. And we're all nervous. It's like, damn, tell us already, like, who is it? But it turns out that it's not Joanna. It's Hociane, who's her daughter. Like, y'all really wanted to disappoint us this episode. We was all pissed. I got the feeling that Mary Peace low-key wanted it to be true as well. Joanna goes up to Mary Peace and she's like, I was so excited because I really look at you like a mother. And Mary Peace was like, you already are a daughter to me. And we were left with this very, very cute moment between Mary Peace and Joanna. Mary Peace said she had a mission to turn Hociane into a better person. But Marlene said that God grants us burdens that we can bear. And thankfully, Mary Peace has people like Joanna there who match the love that she gives back. And Joanna gives that love back in return because she really needs all that. Over in the prison, Hociane gets a visit. And we cut to Mary Peace waiting with a Bible. And Hociane is shocked to see Mary Peace. She was like, I didn't even think you were going to visit me. And Mary Peace was like, yeah, you're my daughter. Of course I was going to come and visit you. I was waiting for Hociane to lash out at her, but it actually didn't happen. There was a weird sense of peace around both of them. Mary Peace was like, I brought you some of your favorite food that Marlene makes, and also I brought you some cake. I know you don't like it, but your inmates might like it. She's trying to win the whole jail over now. And Hociane was like, the food here is so terrible that I would actually love to eat the cake that you make. And Hociane was like, all right, spill it already. Give me my lecture how I messed up. And Mary Peace was like, actually, I don't have a lecture for you. And she was like, maybe I never actually had the right words for you. And Hociane was stunned. And Mary Peace offers Hociane the Bible. And she was like, maybe this book will have the words that I never was able to give you. And I think this is what Mary Peace always wanted, to help her daughter become a better person. Mary Peace did mess up by spoiling Hociane, but in a weird way, Mary Peace didn't know how to correct her either. So this is actually something that she has never tried with Hociane, and it might work. This scene was very different from all their other confrontations, because even though Hociane was on the defensive, she did not have that same animosity that she had before. So we're gonna see next week, which is the last week, to see how this rolls out.